Eternity does not wait. It does not bargain. It does not bend. The fire was always there long before the first breath, long after the last burning, not with the fury of destruction, but with the quiet certainty of justice. This is the valley where truth is laid bare, where every whispered lie becomes a scream, and every hidden sin a chain. Here, the air is thick with the weight of choices, and the ground trembles with the hands of those who once believed their deceit would go unanswered. There is no clock here. There is only the endless. Now, his name was Elias Voss, a man of polished words and hollow smiles, a master of the half-truth, the omitted detail, the carefully crafted illusion. By day, he moved through the world like a shadow cast by someone else's light, always present, never quite real. His office was a shrine to his own cunning, framed diplomas he barely earned, awards he manipulated, photographs of people who trusted him, though he could not recall the last time he had been truly honest with any of them. Elias was not a monster. He was worse. He was ordinary. He lied to clients with a sigh, to friends with a laugh, to his wife with a touch. He convinced himself it was necessary, just a little bend of the truth, to keep the peace, to keep the money flowing, to keep the world turning in his favor. He had been warned. Of course, a sermon era, a troubled dream there. But repentance was for the weak. For those who couldn't navigate the gray, he preferred the dark. And the dark, as it always does, began to prefer him back. The lies grew heavier. At first, they were just tools, ways to smooth over rough edges, to avoid conflict. But tools become masters. His marriage frayed, not with a single betrayal, but with 1,000 small deceptions. His children's eyes, once bright with admiration, dulled with the slow realization that their father's words were never quite what they seemed. He dreamed of fire, not the cleansing kind, but the kind that clings. In those dreams, he stood before a door, and a voice asked him to enter. But Elias always turned away. There was always one more deal to close, one more story to sell. Twice, the chance for redemption came. The first was in the confession booth. His fingers trembling on the wooden ledge, his throat tight with the weight of what he might say. He left before the words could form. The second was in the hospital, his father's hand in his, the old man's voice rasping, "Son, you don't have to keep pretending." Elias smiled and changed the subject. The lies became his armor, and armor, when worn too long, becomes a cage. It happened in an instant. A meeting, a confrontation, a heart that could no longer bear the weight of its own deceit. One moment, he was mid-sentence, weaving another tale. The next, the world tilted. The lights dimmed, and the last thing Elias Voss heard was the sound of his own pulse stuttering, then stopping. No fanfare, no dramatic collapse, just the sudden, terrible silence of a life cut short, and the awful understanding that there would be no more chances to make it right. He woke in darkness. Not the darkness of a closed room, but the darkness of a place that had never known light. The air was thick, suffocating, alive with the scent of burning. Flames licked at the ground like hungry things, their glow revealing the shapes of others twisted, reaching, their voices a chorus of muffled agony. Elias tried to scream. No sound came. A Hyundai Zone emerged from the fire beside him, fingers clawing at nothing. He stumbled back, but the ground gave way, and he realized with a sickening lurch that he was not standing on earth, but on something that moved, that breathed. "Where am I?" His voice was a whisper, swallowed by the wind. The voice answered, not from above, not from below, but from within him, as if it had always been there. "You are where you chose to be. I didn't choose this." He clutched at his chest at the memory of his last breath. "I didn't know the voice was gentle." "You knew. You always knew." The flames rose higher. The silhouettes around him writhed, their faces blurred by regret. Elias fell to his knees, the heat searing through him. Not just his skin, but his soul. He had spent a lifetime crafting lies. Now, he was forced to see them all at once, the faces of those he'd betrayed, the moments he could have turned back, the truth he had buried beneath layers of deceit. "Let me go back," he begged. "Let me warn them." "Let me!" The voice did not interrupt. It simply let the silence answer for it. The realization broke him. He had not been trapped by the fire. He had been trapped by himself. Every lie, every half-truth, every moment he had chosen the easy darkness over the hard lighted, had all led here. He tried to cry out, to scream a warning to the living, but his voice was ash. The hands around him reached, not for escape, but for something they would never hold again. Mercy, forgiveness, a second chance. Elias Voss understood, too late, that eternity is not a punishment inflicted by God. It is the natural end of a life spent running from him. And so he sank, not into the flames, but into the endless weight of his own choices. Deceit is a slow poison. It does not kill the body, first it kills the soul. It convinces you that the truth is too heavy to carry, that the lie is lighter, easier. But every lie is a stone, and one day, the weight becomes unbearable. Death does not announce itself. It does not wait for you to be ready. It comes, and what you have built, whether on truth or on lies, is what you will stand upon for eternity. While there is breath, there is choice. While there is choice, tere, isope. But hope, like truth, must be chosen before it is too late. The road to eternity is paved with the choices we make today. Walk it with us. Subscribe, and let the light guide your steps. Next, we bear witness to the fate of a soul who mistook silence for peace. Until then, remember, the fire waits for no one.